Okay, what's up, YouTube? Well, as you can see, I'm back in New Jersey, back in my house. It is Sunday, so we got back Saturday night, late Saturday night, from the Tail of the Dragon trip. And I'm not sure the order I'm going to release the videos because, as you're going to see, some things went wrong on the trip, including the trip started off with a dead battery in the bus, which was fine up until that day, setting us back a little bit. And then losing my GoPro with all of my riding footage on the highway at over 100 miles an hour and not recovering the GoPro. Found bits and pieces of the cases. I couldn't find the camera anywhere after hours searching on it. But we'll probably talk about that a little more later. Just unfortunate because I have some vlog style footage from the trip that maybe you've either seen in the video before this or you'll see in the video after this if it takes me a while to piece it together now that I don't have any riding footage. But I lost every single bit of riding footage from the Tail of the Dragon trip. So, as you can see, I pulled in late last night. I got the bus facing the wrong direction. I was too tired, too lazy to back it in, so it's just kind of forward right there in front of my garage. I'm still 100% loaded up from the trip. I haven't unloaded anything. I just dropped Scott off at his house. So today we're going to, well, first we're going to turn this big girl around, and we're going to go grab some lunch at the deli near my house while we do that. We're going to back it in, get it unloaded, and talk a little bit about how the trip went as far as the bus is concerned, because that, so far, I mean, that's really the only content on my channel, and it's what you guys want to hear about every time I take a vote. So we'll talk a little bit about how the bus did on the trip, things we noticed about the way the bus drives, or things that need to be adjusted from that standpoint, and we'll talk a little bit about maybe what we'll add to it before the next trip, whether it just be like a convenience thing or a comfort thing. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Got a small list, not a lot to change. Tell you what we did use, what we didn't use, stuff like that. But let's get this thing turned around and go get some food. Climb up in here. It up in my neighborhood. And now let's head home and get this bus emptied after we eat. Okay, now that I'm not hangry anymore and I got some food in my belly, shout out to Waller's Deli in Tabernacle, New Jersey. So let's get the bus unpacked. Talk about some of the stuff that worked, some of the stuff that didn't work, some of the stuff I need to add, and oh, there she is. She's such a pretty girl. So to start off, you see the ramp is just kind of tossed in the back right now. Nothing went wrong with the ramp. We'll still be mounted to the bumper. It still works great. Just unloaded Scott's bike last night at like 11:30 and really didn't feel like putting the ramp back on here just to unbolt it again today, so I just tossed it in the back while there's room. You see a second set of wheels in here. That was just because I've kind of been wanting a second set of wheels to put some track day tires on, and one of my wheels has a dent, so I've been thinking about swapping it out anyway. And also a hobby of mine that hopefully will be showcasing on this channel is I like the powder coat, and I haven't done a set of motorcycle wheels yet, so now I have my own set to practice on. Got a really great deal on those wheels. Shout out to Brandon and Ryan from A&R Texas Barbecue down in Maryville, Tennessee, hooking me up with the wheels. And you're going to notice that the solar panels are not unboxed. We ended up not using the solar system like I wanted to, mainly just because we didn't need to. We were very rarely at the bus, and most of our time was spent riding, so there just wasn't a need to use the solar. The batteries did well. We tested the batteries regularly. The batteries did well, using the electric when we needed to from the inverter. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw like a Brian 636 on the video, on the TV during one of the videos. That was on Fire Stick streaming or hotspotting Wi-Fi from my phone I was unable to use the PlayStation because I rushed, hooked everything up, and forgot an HDMI cable. So the PlayStation was not actually hooked up this whole time, which was great. But that's okay, because like I said, we were out on the bikes for 11, 12 hours a day. I did add a last-minute cool pirate skull floor mat to wipe my feet before we came in the bus to make the bus all dirty. And, you know, according to Scott, that made me the mom or the wife of the trip, but make sure you wipe your feet before you come on my damn bus. So let's go ahead and get some of this stuff off. Alright, now for the fun. Because I left the bike in the second position when I dropped Scott and his bike off, I have to shimmy it myself. So what we're going to do is get the Pitbull TRS undone from it, put it back on its own kickstand, tuck the front wheel in that corner up there, grab the back tire, and scooch it over so that it clears that arm on the handicap ramp. And in case I didn't say it already, excuse the outfit. Late night last night. I didn't feel like getting dressed for a video. Now, honestly, after that second shimmy, I was free of the wheelchair lift arm, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough room to not have to make a crazy turn because, like I said, I'm tired. So now let's get the ramp out, the lift out, excuse me, the ramp extension on, and get the bike out of there. Alright, so let's get the Pitbull stuff secured here and then just kind of recap where we left off. So we used the inverter, and the inverter worked well. The refrigerator worked well. Obviously, we didn't use the refrigerator until we got on the road because without the solar power, we couldn't kill the batteries by having the refrigerator on the whole time. We used the TV when we were stopped, but again, I forgot a HDMI cable, so we had to use the TV while we were streaming from our phones. We used the air mattress in the back. It fit very well back here. It was only a twin air mattress, so we actually had plenty of room. We used the power inverter to inflate and deflate the air mattress. Obviously, the Pitbull trailer restraint system, all that stuff worked really well. As far as we used the bench seat for a bed for me. So I think everything inside the bus worked the way it should have. I brought an extra power strip for power outside at camp. We ended up not needing that or using that, as well as the extension cord that I brought to run power from the inverter under the seat outside. At this particular camp, we weren't at camp enough to use it because of the trip being motorcycle ridden, or motorcycle riding, focused. So we weren't really at camp to make that worth it. What else? Obviously, the toolbox just comes in handy like crazy. We did not use the air compressor because we checked our pressures, and our tires were fine. So we had no need for the air compressor. As you'll notice, the hose reel is missing. Not sure if I covered that in a previous video, but we ran into some issues with how it was mounted and the holes that were previously in this fiberglass wall. And I just wasn't happy with it. I wasn't convinced that it was going to be secure enough with the bikes on that trip. And let me tell you, that was a bouncy ride. So for the trip, we just have an air hose coiled up down there with the extension cord, and still all the air tools in that bag. So we would have been fine. Now that brings me to the ride, since I mentioned bouncy ride. On the way down, the bus performed, power wise, it was there. The bus performed fine. It can easily handle the extra, 1,000 pounds, maybe between the two bikes, and maybe a little more than 1,000 pounds between two bikes and the gear, but the bus performed fine. Suspension fine, performed fine. The thing to remember with this kind of a bus is it was never designed to do highway speeds for long periods of time. Sure, the drivetrain is a 7.3 liter out of a Ford F-Series truck. The transmission is out of a Ford F-Series truck, the 450, for example. The rear, it's a dually, it's out of a F450 F-Series truck. So the drivetrain could handle it. The bus was not designed to. So these windows rattle bad at 70 miles an hour. That door is not sealed properly for 70, 75 miles an hour. And at 70, and this body, aerodynamically was just not designed for 70, 75. Yeah, no more than 75, but was not designed for highway speeds. It just wasn't. So is a little, gets beat up by the wind. You feel we aired the tires up to 80 PSI, which is the max these tires should be at, going for gas mileage and, highway speed over comfort. So it was a bumpy, rattly ride. Not nearly as bad as some people told me it would be. And honestly, not as bad as I expected it to be. But it was a bumpy, rattly ride. So we learned that the rear air conditioner, actually, we thought it was broken. Turns out there's just a valve underneath that was turned off. And, honestly, when I tested the air conditioner when I bought the vehicle, it was cold outside. So it blew cold, I thought. So that's my fault. So we did the trip without the rear air working. And, my takeaway from that would be that the in-dash air, in the E-Series van, not enough to cool this big bus, especially with inefficient windows and a bus door that leaks poorly, sealed poorly. So as far as besides the air conditioner not working and the uncomfortability of, doing 70, 75 in a bus, it just, it is what it is. It did really well. The new battery made all the difference in the world. I didn't actually realize how slow this thing was cranking until I put a new battery in it. Let's talk about the EGTs. So this was my first time with this bus in the mountains, obviously, and we were concerned about what kind of EGTs, or exhaust gas temperature readings, we would get, considering this bus isn't intercooled. And while I didn't actively do anything to raise the boost, by cutting the exhaust the way we did, I picked up a couple PSI. So before, the bus used to top out at 12, I've seen it be able to top out at 14, 15, and once 16 pounds. So it's not a lot of boost for something this big, but without being intercooled, that's what we're stuck with. EGTs, on the way down, we drove overnight, very cool outside, mountain air, barely over 1,000, even through the mountains. On the way back, however, it was over 80 degrees. It was hot. It was the dead, middle of the day, and we regularly saw 11,000, 11,060, something like that on the, 1,100, 1160 on the mountains, on the climbs up. They go down quick, and trans temp never really got over 200, and engine oil temperature never got over 220. So we were okay, but definitely noticed a difference between the way the bus acts, drives, and readings during the heat. The coolant gauge on this thing never really breaks anywhere near middle of the gauge, and on the way home in that kind of heat, we were easily in the middle middle range. So that's pretty much it for the bus's performance. Other than that, I mean, it did its job. It did well. We added some more stickers to the wall there. We got the tail of the dragon and some more vendor-inspired stickers down at the bottom. No sponsors, just some stickers from some gear we use. Things we'd like to add. Obviously, I would like to add the solar. We did some testing, and we'll probably do a video where I'm testing more of the battery system, because got some questions about how that acts with 4 batteries. Would love to add the solar. Would love the ability to leave the power inverter on all day while we were gone to keep the refrigerator running, but didn't need it for this kind of camp. Little things we'd like to add. The bus did not come with any cup holders. As you can see, I added that cup holder down there where the hand sanitizer is currently at for the driver's seat. I'm sure there is a second cup, but when you're sitting in this captain's chair there's nothing. There's no cup holder. There's no place to put your phone. There's no provisions. So, got some ideas to add a phone holder either off that window with a suction cup mount or a Harley-Davidson type inspired, phone and cup holder that are designed to mount to handlebars to mount to one of those 2 bars right there. So, and then maybe some kind of storage pouch to hang from there too, just so that the person in the captain's chairs, I mean, they could use the back, but so that the person's in the captain's chair has some place to put their phone, some place to put a drink, some place to put a snack, maybe even a tray. But that's basically creature comforts for that chair. Would definitely be the things we would add. Other than the finishing touches that we've already talked about, like finishing up the carpet, maybe adding some carpet to the stairway, cleaning up that area up there, and to finish cleaning up the dash, really don't need to add too much. I'm going to add some more decorative stuff, probably put some more stickers up there. Definitely going to add a little more tunes. Need to get that 4-channel amp in here and maybe a small sub as well. Never got the LED accent lights up that I have, so we'll see a video coming later about that. Those are going to go around the edge, kind of where I'm panning the camera right now. Those definitely would have helped at night, when we're at camp. So honestly, that's about it. The bus worked well. I'm really impressed for its maiden trip out. No mechanical issues that, prevented us from moving on. No issues loading the bikes, getting the bikes in or out. No issues camping in it. No water. We passed some heavy rains. It doesn't take on any water. We did have a little malfunction. These clips for the windows are breaking pretty much every time we go to open it. As you can see, the little handle that you're supposed to pull, like you can see in that one. Basically, you can't pull that handle and then try to open the window with them. These windows are a little stuck after being closed for so long, probably. So now we got a couple of windows without locks. And it looks like they're replaceable. They just screw on and off, but where do you get bus parts? I don't know. That's maybe something I should have thought about during the process. But as you can see, this one broke. So we're down to, or we're up to, I should say, 3 broken window latches. So that's about it. Other than that, let me know if you guys have any questions about anything that I didn't cover, whether it be how the bus performs, how we use it for camping, any of the modifications I've done to it that I didn't talk about yet. The light bar. Light bar worked great. I mean, that thing is like the sun. We did notice the headlights suck, but I gotta aim the light bar differently. You cannot use that as we're driving. So driving lights will definitely be added, and some new headlights, probably some LEDs. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Comment down below. Let me know what you need me to cover for the bus. All that's really left to get cleaned up from this trip is to clean up the floor, empty out the toolbox from any of the junk that gathered in that junk drawer, and then start on the rest. You'll either see some of the vlog footage from the trip right before this video or right after this, and then we'll get into a little bit of bike content. We'll walk you around some of the bikes I have and talk about what's done to them, and then finish the mods on the bus, hopefully painting it really soon. Not gonna have a lot of days off work after this vacation, so I gotta get a couple of good days off in a row, and then we'll get this thing painted. Cool. See you guys in the next video.